Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous, time-defying edition of the show. Let's get right to it.
This is your Broadway 360 wraparound billboard, goes all the way around the building and comes out the other side. Great Scott.
That's right, I'm going to take you back to June 10th. We're going to go back and forth as much as we can in the little bit of time that we have to show you more of our exclusive time travel footage of the world premiere of Man of Steel. I know, it's been out for 3 weeks now. Everyone's getting bored talking about it, but not me. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to take you to the red carpet where we have exclusive access because we're Great Scott, the show that gets everything about Superman. Check it out.
Zack Snyder. Can't see him too well, but he's there through the crowd.
Maybe not as exclusive as we might have hoped. See, it was raining outside and pouring, actually, and lots of people needed umbrellas, and, you know, they had a lot of security, and there was a lot of press, you know, people that, you know, weren't necessarily fans, but who were allowed to actually have red carpet access, you know, for, you know, less awesome shows, because they know that, you know, Great Scott is already, you know, we've got fives of viewers, so they didn't want to take away from other less known shows that they wanted to give red carpet access to. So instead they let us watch from afar because they knew that later on we'd be hobnobbing with all the stars, you know, based on our glorious fame and success, you know. But we did get to see some people from a distance.
Red carpet's out there. We have already seen Henry Cavill, Kevin Costner, and what's his name? Daryl Sprayberry?
Yep.
Dylan Sprayberry. My apologies, Dylan. I hope you'll still allow me that interview on Great Scott next week. But we're not out there, but hopefully we'll get a chance to see or talk to some of them at some point. There's all the banners. There's Steve's really tall. It's just I'm holding this extremely high.
Yeah, it's eye level for you, though.
That's true. Oh, that was horrendous. Everyone's tuning out of Great Scott right now.
Well, hey, at least I didn't show my Superman boxers.
That's true, but maybe the ladies want to see that.
I doubt it.
It's the back of Carol's head.
I'm sorry.
Hello, Carol.
Hello.
Steve-O.
I'm on a Great Scott.
Can you believe we're here? You are. You're going to be a star now. Everyone will know who you are now that you're on Great Scott. No one even knows who I am. And we've already seen Jeffrey's tongue, but
hello.
Later he'll show us his boxers.
And what was interesting about being at the premiere is that we got to see many of the stars kind of mingling about after. None of them wanted to give me the time of day. I can't imagine why. But they did walk past us. You know, I saw Isla Zura, who plays Laura. She was dressed beautifully in a white dress, being at the premiere. I'm sure it was very exciting, and as an actor myself, albeit a not very successful one, I could just imagine how it would feel, you know, opening in probably her biggest movie, and it's supposed to be a big blockbuster, and everyone's going to love it. And she was walking around and just glowing, and she looked great. And we saw other stars like this one.
I don't know who the blonde girl is.
To be fair, Allison was very, very far away and behind glass and lots of photographers, and I could barely see her. And you know, to give myself a little credit, after the movie was over, I did spot her in the crowd outside walking by, and I was the only one who noticed, and she noticed that I noticed and was very excited about it. And I heard her say to her manager as she was walking up the steps on the outside of the building, "That guy just recognized, he actually recognized me from the film, from my..." So she was very happy, and I think she was happy to be there. And You know, as I said, I couldn't really tell from a distance, and I hadn't yet seen the film. So after the fact, I did recognize her outside when I was much closer to her. Hey, don't say that with Great Scott and Superman homepage don't get access to things. Afterward, we were allowed to board the multi-tiered buses filled with crowds of people to go to the after party. And, you know, we had a little bit to talk about. The after party was so cool. It was a ton of food. There were bars with any drink you could get, everything free. You know, they were frying up stuff. They were throwing stuff up in the air. They had desserts. They had musicians there playing the soundtrack. You could hear it in the background. You know, when I traveled back through time there, they had Hans Zimmer was actually on stage with the musicians. I would take you and show you, but you know, I'm not allowed due to time travel regulations and music copyrights. You know, the mix, it just doesn't work out. But since we're not, you know, needing to go in any order because I'm jumping around through time wherever I like, I'm going to take you now to the bus ride to the after party where I finally got to talk to some of your favorite Superman experts, Jeffrey Taylor and Steve Eunice, and we found out right off the bat, you know, not after weeks of thinking about it or days of trying to write a review, not after having time to sink in, but right after seeing the movie, what our actual reactions were.
That may be the greatest film I've ever seen.
I did have to post on Facebook about the fact that Antje Traua, who plays Feora, walked by me from behind, grabbed my hand, and said, "Good to see you again."
She did indeed. And then she kissed him, and it was a very romantic scene.
Fortunately, my wife would never watch anything that's on the Superman homepage. She laughs at me when I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's not a fan, huh?
Oh, I mean, she likes Superman just fine. The big thing about her with this movie is that she loves turning to me randomly and saying it's not an S.
Oh, it's an S, all right. It's an S that stands for hope. Don't you forget it. And, you know, to jump back in time yet again, I take you to the little gallery, the little balcony we were in, 5 billion miles from a tiny little screen in the Albert Tully Hall, where I was trying to do, from what I remember, I was trying to actually do a video from on site for you guys when I couldn't see myself, but sitting behind me there was a special guest. Oh, that was too quick? Take another look. Oh yes, but the after party was a blast. We got to see lots of the stars going around, partake in the food, the drinks. We got to take pictures at the big advertisement with the S.
Where you may come and get your photo in front of the big S. They're all wearing the Nokia shirts.
What kind of a party is this? This is crazy.
This is wild. This is America.
Can you believe they let Australians in here?
I know.
And Carol. This is so exciting.
This is phenomenal. Don't know where to go.
Have you been a part of anything like this?
No. Kidding? When do you get to be part of something like this?
Right now, sir.
Yeah,
Live in the moment. Look at everything. Food and drink and excess.
crazy, crazy, crazy indeed. And it was so crazy that on the way to the after party, I just remembered this. I'm going to take us back to that time. It was probably about 10:44 or something p.m. Maybe a little later than that, if my memory serves, because we started the movie late, and it's 2.5 hours, and was maybe a half hour behind. Jeffrey was telling us about his trip to Plano, Illinois, where they filmed the Smallville stuff, and all the scenes that he got to see being filmed. You know, before we saw him on screen with effects and stuff.
Jeffrey, and the guy in the mocap suit, who's the big, really big guy in Plano. Yeah, he's standing over Superman. He goes to fly away, but he grabs his leg in the air and smashes him back down. I watched that being filmed. I watched the part where Feora gets her hand over his eye and he uses the heat vision. And also when the first round of bullets was coming out.
Oh yes, we've all gotten such exclusive access. Jeffrey, of course, Steve, myself, all being involved with the Superman homepage has gotten us the ability to bring all this to you and get all this information. And of course, my Stolen Legion flight ring being able to allow me to travel through time and show you a lot of it firsthand. Just one last look at the lavish party where Kevin Costner and Henry Cavill and lots of other people that I can't think of right now were there, and we saw them, and it was a fantastic time, and there was food and drink and
Display suit. They have food. They have the music.
aside from seeing Henry and Lawrence Fishburne and Russell Crowe and Allison, we also got to see Zach and his wife Deborah as they were walking along the red carpet, you know, taking some interviews and pictures and talking about, of course, how proud they were to be making a comic book fanboy film.
Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder talking about their film and how proud they are to be doing a comic book property.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed this 2-week travel through time that we've taken. Last week's episode, this week's episode. Next week, I'm going to show you some of the exclusive photographs that we got behind the scenes, meeting some of the stars, doing some of the things that we got to do because, you know, we're the Superman homepage, so we got a little extra access. Maybe not as much as I would like. And, of course, because I'm Great Scott and everyone knows who I am. Whatever. But thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Remember, always look up in the sky.